everybody. I'm Steve, back here again with Brian Sanchez, who is at our studio at Fitness for 10 in Carson City, Nevada. It's so nice to see you, Brian. You look beautiful.
You know, I do. And I think it's important for you to really acknowledge that every time you see me, Steve.
Yeah, I just thought I would say something stupid before you do, so I just beat you to the punch this time. That's all.
Okay. So what you're saying is you're not digging my hotness. Not you dig. Okay.
All
Fine.
right, so we were discussing this before we turned the video on, and we can come up with probably 50 different philosophies or reasons and when should you rest? How long should you rest?
Right.
And the person that's deciding when they should rest, they need to know themselves to know whether that rest is going to benefit them or whether they're walking into a danger zone because they could be, or they could get a huge benefit from a rest.
Right.
So, you gave me an example. Okay, it's the holidays. Let's say it's the holidays. It's Thanksgiving, or it's the 4th of July, or you're on vacation. So talk to me about what you said. And these are things that your clients ask you.
Right. This was actually a conversation I had on our gym floor. It's not a thing of where you can't take a break. Everybody should know you should rest your body periodically from your training regimen, especially for those of us, a lot of us go pretty hard in that gym. The body does deserve for you to be good to it and let it get some breaks. Uh, uh, the holiday season, we're in the holiday season. I don't know when this is going to come up. For me, if I'm going to give somebody a recommendation, I want them to think about why you want to take your break during the holiday season. Look at some of the pros and cons. Pros, you're going to get more time with your family if you do that, in theory. Depends on when you work. Um, you can work on your holiday planning if you're taking your gym break from that time. You can focus on the planning of your holiday. If you're traveling over that holiday, it's easier to travel if you're not worried about your gym commitment. Those are some nice little pros. Cons. Um, the holidays aren't always so relaxing. If you have big holiday events coming up, like large family functions and things like this, and you're doing all this prepping and all things, you might be a little bit stressed out. I know a lot of people that get very stressed around the holiday times. Not that they don't like being with their families and their loved ones. It's just stressful for them because they got so much going on. Well, what would that lead to? Well, if you're in a high stress holiday situation, because you're a little more like us, where we get all kinds of people coming over and we just rock and roll, we don't necessarily rest, your cortisol levels could build up. What's another thing to think about during these holiday seasons? Boy, do you make good choices with food? Well, if you're like me over the holiday season, I need to be in the gym. It's not a good time for me to take that break because I'm eating a lot of fun stuff. I know I've got to be in here burning those extra calories. And I get the balance out, keep the cortisol down because I'm crushing it. I will work hard at not gaining that extra weight that I would gain if I stayed out of the gym during that time. For me, I think if you're really thinking about it, and holidays are a good time, maybe just adjust your workout. An example is, and the people that I was talking to were all weightlifters, and we do lift heavier. Again, like I've told you 1,000 times, I've stopped the whole powerlifting, but we do lift heavier, so we're throwing some good weight around. And maybe in that instance, you stop the heavy lifting during that time and you go into movement exercises and you focus on your cardio for 2 weeks and you bring that up a bit. And then you go upstairs at your gym or to the side room at the gym and you work on your calisthenics and you do some movement work, functional work that is really good for the body and you're not throwing 400 pounds on your shoulders to squat. That might be some options.
Active
For me,
recovery, you're talking
active
about.
recovery, yeah. For me, I 100% agree that a couple weeks off from hardcore training a week is good for you. It 100% will help your body to heal, help it to rest, help you reassess your goals for your training, and maybe give you that little bit of fire to get back in. And excited because you were talking about something, Steve, which I think is very important. You're very, very driven, and I know you love coming to the gym. That's not going to change when you take that time off. When you take your time off, I know you're going to come through that door after your 2 week break, and you're going to be on fire, ready to roll. I would be the same way, but that's not going to be the same for everybody. So I think as an individual, write out your pros, write out your cons. Try to decide when the best time would be. For me this year, the best time is going to be when my wife and I travel out of the country. It's going to be the perfect time for me to take that extended break from the gym to rest the body out. What do you think, Steve?
Well, again, let's talk a little bit about it. Is a huge benefit, in my opinion, if you can take a week off. And we use an example, a power lifter, they're not going to touch a weight, maybe a little light active stuff, but they're not going to touch a weight 6-7 days before a competition. They want their body to be fully recovered and at 100%. So that 1 week off is great. But if you have the wrong personality or the wrong, I don't want to offend anybody, but you can put yourself in the category. You can't use that theory and say, okay, I took a week. If I take a week off, I'm going to be at my maximum strength. How about if I keep taking weeks off? No, it doesn't work that way. So that rest is great for your joints and to get your muscles to fully recover. But if you're the type of person who needs to stay in the groove and needs to keep in those good habits, you're on a slippery slope. Because if you take a week off, 2 weeks off, you're on a slippery slope, especially if you do it, say, on a holiday or a special event, a vacation, because now you said, okay, you're going to eat some fun foods, and I'm going to take that as something I probably wouldn't eat. I probably wouldn't eat whatever you're calling fun foods. I just don't do it. I can't put it in my body, my daughter, birthday, come on, Dad, just have one bite of cake. No, I don't want a bite of cake. That's just me. But make sure
I eat a whole cake. Anyways,
okay, yeah, you eat the whole cake. So if you're one of those people that you realize, hey, this is putting me on a slippery slope because now I'm going to find reasons to do other things like eat things I shouldn't, and I'm not even going for a walk, then a 2 week break is probably not a positive thing because it could turn into something that's not so positive and not so good for your health. Now you find reasons why 2 weeks is going to be 3 weeks and then one more week. Well, I'll just start up next week. Well, why not one more week? What's one more week? And now, you gain 50 pounds at the blink of an eye. So you have to know yourself. But rest period is critical. I mean, you grow when you're resting. You get stronger when you're resting. That's the part where you get benefit. And it's really interesting because we were going back and forth figuring out why it's good and why it's bad. See, me, it would probably be excellent for me, but you're going to have to duct tape me to the wall. And somebody's going to have to watch me to make sure I don't get away and go start running laps around the park or trying to push trees over because I can't get away from the gym. So I'm going to be marking off the hours to when I can get back in the gym. So a 2 week rest is probably going to be a good thing for me because I'm not going to mess up my diet. And I'm going to be so excited to get back in the gym. My workouts are going to be better.
Steve, do you think the former Liver King ever took breaks?
Is he former Liver King?
Yeah, I don't think he's the Liver King anymore, is he?
Why, did he stop eating liver?
Tail? What was it, snout to tail?
I don't think that guy ever ate liver. I'll tell you what, though. total rabbit trail. That's one smart marketer. He had all this planned. He had getting caught getting planned with the guys that exposed him. That was all planned. The guy's brilliant. Like him or not, think he's brilliant. He doesn't really care what you think about him. He just wants to make money, and he's good at
He
it.
made a lot of money.
Um, so what's the question about the former liver king?
Do you think he took breaks? I'm
You
just
know
being a
what?
spaz.
I'm gonna say no.
Nah, Liver King doesn't stop. He's
Yeah,
like a honey
because
badger.
it doesn't matter how much gear he's on, or truckloads of human growth hormone. No, the guy couldn't sit still because even when you're on gear, he wanted more and more and more and more. So the guy we're talking about, no, I don't think he ever took a break. I don't think he takes a probably doesn't take a break now. I'm assuming he's still working out,
Well, I'm sure he is.
but
You know,
no,
but
yeah, that's one of those guys you're going to have to chain him up to keep him from exercising. He's going to figure out a way to do it. So you got to know who you are, and there's so many variables, right?
know yourself. You have to know the level of training you're doing, how much impact you're having on your body, your workload, your intensity, and what adjustments you're going to make to adjust the body. You also have to be honest with yourself on your own ability to maintain good eating habits when you aren't training, things of that nature. I know that if I take my breaks and I'm traveling, I'm going to be eating all my fun stuff, if you will. I know I'm going to put on a couple pounds. So I'm not upset when I come back. I just got to work a little bit harder to get it off. Whereas if you think you're going to get away with it and you're going to go off and you're going to do and just, roll hard for 3 weeks and not train, and you come back and you're disappointed because your body's changed in a way that you didn't want it to, don't be upset. Embrace the opportunity to come back, get it going. But yes, short answer to everything, yes, rest the body.
Yeah, very important. You got to build it in. But you made a good point just specific to the holidays. Hey, that might be a point or any stressful period in your life. That might not be the time to take a break because you need the exercise, you need the stress release. So maybe you take a break at a different time. So, Brian, as always, thanks for your opinion. If you guys have questions or comments, put them in the comment section. And we will talk to you soon, Brian.
See you soon. Take care, everybody.